himself, and
there's a job there to be done, and he's getting in and getting it done.
So it seems a few have picked up on that All Blacks rugby union philosophy. I mean, there's a few that are sort of talking about that's where it sort of originally came from, as that no matter how good a player you are, you're not above.
If there's a job
lowest
there,
task
you can
that
do
needs
it.
to be done. Yep. If it needs to be done, you do it.
Yeah, and I'd like to point out that we've been the ones that have been reporting on this, so I'd like to claim some type of ownership that this is from our, they've heard our stories and they've gone, no, we need to. We might get a mention on In the Sheds if we go around and clean up some rubbish. So I'll claim that one.
Yeah,
for us.
That's it. Yeah.
Now
I think he's finally wearing boots.
Yeah. Now the other one, and this one is very relevant to all of our local listeners, and for those that know, the Whiteman Park has a vehicle or a car museum, and the WA's own Daniel Ricciardo has donated his first F1 to the museum. So it's not there on loan, it is there permanently. So if anyone would like to see young Ricciardo's first car, make sure you get down to the car museum. Whiteman Park's free itself. I think the car museum's a small donation to get in.
Yeah.
And you can see basically
that
history.
From a value point of view, it's priceless. Now, you can't exactly go out and see these things anywhere. Normally these vehicles, I know a lot of the MotoGP guys, all of them, they get their bikes, but they get stuck in their personal storage or whatever it is. So for Daniel to donate something that is basically priceless is it's unbelievable.
You can get up pretty close to it. I mean, there's a bit of rope around the car, roping the car off, but you can get pretty much right up and.
We're talking seven figures here.
Oh,
just the dollar value. To actually, if you wanted to go and build and buy something like that, you're going to be looking in the seven figures.
Yeah, you can't.
And then you can't stick a Red Bull sticker on the side of it, and then actually put the Daniel Ricciardo. This is his
the
car.
Actual vehicle.
Yeah. This is his car. And
his first car. It's that. I mean, you've got. This is it's.
And for him to bring that to WA is a huge thing. Like he could have stuck that at home. We've done something with it, so it speaks volumes for the bloke. So
and not only that, to a place where it is not going to be charging astronomical amounts to go see it. Like you can literally go for next to nothing and go see his car.
And it's just down the road from all our listeners. Whiteman Park. It's
very
short trip down the road.
A very nice cafe as well.
That's it. We went there for the AGM.
Yep, that's it. And there was
Did I? Oh, I must have missed that one.
Missed the memo.
Yeah. No, it was
that happened. I don't know.
Oh, it was a good breakfast, that's for sure. And it was a good result for a few people as far as positions go and all the rest of it, and a few people taking breakfast that they weren't entitled to.
But just quickly getting back to Daniel Ricciardo, if you ever go to Melbourne, going to the Motorsport Museum over there at the MCG. Seeing Jack Brabham's car that he campaigned to a F1 World Championship there, it's an amazing thing to actually see him on the telly, but to actually go and see something in the flesh, it's a big thing. It's a very tactile experience where you can actually go and say, righto, that's something he actually campaigned around the Americas. He campaigned it around all of the circuits. So...
Beryl Isons, who runs one of the programs here in the morning, she actually mentioned it to us and told us that it was there. And she said when she'd gone over and had a look, she couldn't believe how small the opening was for Daniel to sit in. She's like, does his mum know that that's where he sits when he's driving one of these cars? Like, she's just thought she could not believe how small the opening is for him to jump into and to be sitting in. But it's like you said, it's history. And I've been to the Bathurst Museum, and that was amazing going through all that around Bathurst, but just to have a piece of history like that right here, and literally, we're talking 10 minutes down the road, is fantastic.
People probably don't understand. It is a big thing, and when I say it's priceless, he wouldn't, you can't go and buy that car. He had to ask for it.
Yeah.
So if he didn't ask for it, it would have gone somewhere else. So he asked for it. Of course, they're not going to say no, but yeah, for him to then donate it on, yeah, that's an amazing piece of history that'll, and you know, it'll speak volumes. You know, come later on in life, becomes, hopefully he gets out of that bucket of junk he's driving now and gets into a car that he can campaign for a world title with, and yeah.
Well, his consistency in that bucket of junk has been quite remarkable.
The car's fantastic. It's just the motor's out of a Datsun.
Yeah.
So compared to what he's racing against. So
I mean, the fact that he keeps, like, he's not winning. I think he's won one race all season, but he keeps getting podium finishes. He's still right up there in the championship.
He's launched the Shoei stubby holder. He's created his own bit of history.
Patrick Stewart, Jean-Luc Picard is a member of the Shoei Club. You know, this is a. He's started. He's started something. It's
definitely a thing.
Yeah.
No, but it is for those local to Ellenbrook, the Swan Valley, all that area that our listeners. Whiteman Park. It literally costs you nothing to get in there. Nothing to get into Whiteman Park. There's the car museum itself. Is going to cost you a gold coin donation, and then on top of that, you've got the cafe there, you've got the swimming pool, you've got the park. There is so much there to do with the kids and family. Take your kids down, see a bit of history, and hopefully with.
So by Whiteman Park being in the valley, we can sort of claim that Daniel Ricciardo's got a car in the valley. So
Daniel Ricciardo's
88.5's own
Dan Ricciardo.
Dan Ricciardo in the sheds.
That's it.
We're going to need to post these names on a wall.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Dan Ricciardo, do you know Dan Ricciardo? Yeah. He's got a car in the sheds.
We own
it. Down the road down there.
Yeah. I wonder how much it would cost us to get like a Band-Aid sized logo on his arm, like while he's racing around. It'd probably be in the seven figures. Yeah. So we are looking for sponsors so that we can have Dan Ricciardo as our sponsor.
And quite literally, will be a Band-Aid. Chances are it'll blow off in the first 2.0 seconds.
But yeah, if any businesses out there that are looking to jump on board as sponsors, we are looking all the time, and we're a community radio station, so we do kind of rely on a bit of help from the locals, and you get to hear us talk your name up as well, and sure we can organise a professional promo to get sorted, not by us. No, it wouldn't be by us. It wouldn't be by us. All right, we'll be back in a moment, and we're actually going to get straight into the controversy corner.
On VCA 885 FM, where the valley comes alive, this is In the Sheds. If you've got something to say about the show or something happening in your community, contact us via Facebook. Back soon. It's time the boys got serious. Strap yourself in for Controversy Corner.
Welcome back to In the Sheds with Albie, Brucey and Donnie. You can hit us up on Twitter at The Sheds 885 or on Facebook via the Messenger as Sean Olasenko has done a couple of times so far tonight, so good on you, Ollie. Now, we've got to keep a bit of a timer on this one because last week we got into Controversy Corner and I think we got about 20 minutes in and realised we've got to scrap half the show now. So we've got two. Johnny, I'll let you start with the first one and then we'll get into the second one.
Yeah, so I mean, this is a bit of a different one in terms of the link to Western Australia. But the Western Sydney Wanderers coach, Tony Popovich, pulling the pin as the coach a week before the season starts. Now, I suppose the link to us is the Perth Glory play the Wanderers in the first week of the season. But to have your coach quit and move to Turkey to coach, a team that's running third last. I think you were saying that they've gone through a dozen coaches or something. In the
they've
last
gone through
eight
coaches in the last 32 months. So
there's not exactly a great deal of job security. He's leaving.
If he doesn't win the first 4 games, he's gone. Popovich has come out and said that this is his goal, is to get into coaching in Europe, which you can't begrudge the bloke for that. But 1 week out before the start of the A-League season, and I'm pretty certain that a coaching position like that wouldn't be like someone rings you up and says, "Oh, hi, what are you doing?" Yeah. So surely there's got to be a conversation going on beforehand saying, "Are you available for this?" So he must have had positions. He must have been looking for positions and stuff like that. to go and drop him in, surely you'd have a clause in your contract from the Wanderers' point of view saying 4 weeks out, if you haven't pushed the button on another contract, that's it, you're in with us. 1 week out? No, I don't wear that. That's crap.
There's also got to be a lot of players in that team with clauses in their contract that say, if Tony Popovic isn't the coach, I can get out of the contract. Now, 1 week before the start of the season, I don't know that the players have got too many options to actually move on if they wanted to.
Well,
There would be players.
transfer windows.
There would be players that would be there for the coach,
Well,
and that's the same. And that's the same
Players
as
have
every.
transfer windows.
I know for a fact that Chris Hurd, who former Aston Villa player, he definitely went there. He had options to go to Melbourne City and decided to go to the Wanderers simply because he wanted to be coached by Popovic. And now because he's gone, he's in limbo. He doesn't know who the coach is going to be. They've got an interim coach. They're in no hurry to appoint anybody else to take over.
There is other assistant coaches in the back, not assistant coaches, player managers in the background who have also followed Popovic as well. So it's not just one bloke. So
Yeah, there's a few blokes that have gone with him.
this is that's a huge thing as far as if you relate it to any one of whatever sport you try and support, whether it be NRL, AFL, cricket. Imagine your league coach walking out 1 week before the game starts.
But I suppose the good news for us is that
They're playing the Glory, yeah.
they're playing the Glory, so it's an away game for the Glory. It's probably one that you mark down as a loss, but with all this happening,
Western Sydney Wanderers will just walk out there, kick it around and go, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
Catch you later.
The only thing is the good thing for us is that they were doing well, because in my experience, when coaches doing terrible and they get sacked, then they're an interim coach for his first game, they win. So at least we don't have to worry about that taboo. But
True.
it's mind blowing that he can get away with that in the first round, but before the first round's even started. But it's good for us.
Well, it does. It reflects badly on the A-League as a competition as well. I'm sure David Gallup, the CEO of the A-League's not too happy about the disrespect, I suppose, paid to the A-League. The fact that a coach can, leave a week before the season starts, and because coaching a third string Turkish team is a better opportunity.
Yeah. No, it defies belief, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens next week. So I think we'll definitely have to put on our English football hats and sit there and watch that game in its entirety, just to see how the team has responded to that. Onto proper football, just to fire up the controversy a bit more. Brucey, what are your thoughts on Luke Hodge?
I can understand Luke Hodge doing what he's doing if Hawthorn kicked him out, but him deciding to retire, and from a point of view of just all of the goodbyes and the see you laters and
the ride around in the back of the highlights.
Yeah, that's it. And everyone giving him a hug and the goodbyes, and I'm sure at the Hawthorn fairest and best, they all gave him the big send off. Enjoy yourself in retirement. I will give him one thing. He did get offered to get driven around in the Hilux at the retiring champions at the grand final, but he declined that.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay.
Yes, he did decline
that's fair.
Because I think there would have been a few people chucking a few things at him if he did that one. Because
so he's looking at a 2-year deal with a future coaching role. So something kind of similar to what Sam Mitchell's done, but a lot different to the way Sam Mitchell went about it.
Yeah.
Does he have 2 years left in him?
Well, I wouldn't mind having him in my back line.
Yeah, but
how's his body?
He looks. This is how this is all being probably.
I know he's
handled
33, but he does
35. No. At a 35 in a Hawthorn backline versus a Hawthorn in a Brisbane backline, he'll probably be all right. Unfortunately, I think he'll probably see a lot more of the ball than what he'd like to be seeing at Brisbane, and he'll be going, because everyone's saying, that talking, how he was, when they mic'd him up at that game where he was directing traffic and doing this and doing that. At Brisbane, admittedly, they did play a lot better towards the end of last year, so that may change a few things, but
I can't wait for him versus Sicily.
Oh, Jesus.
Sicily's like, he's a rocket in himself, and Hodgie's not one to step back, so I can see that ending in cheers.
It's something I was thinking more about it today, about how they've